I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna presents the official itinerary for the 57th Annual Lord's Passover. Kickoff. Wednesday, April 1st, the Lamb Slaughter from 11 a.m. Followed by fun and games, basketball, 3-point shootout. Can you hit the target in the archery competition? Then let's gather together ourselves and eat some lamb. Later that night, the dopest podcasts, the Round Table of Truth, Cross the Line Radio, and Let a Hebrew Speak. All going down from 8 p.m. Thursday, April 2nd, the annual Kiddies Party. It's all going down at Slick City Action Park from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Followed by Scripture Breakdown class from 7 p.m. with 12 Shield General Mahayim. Friday, April 3rd from 8 p.m. the all-black party. You know how we get down. It's all going down at the BH Ranch, Houston, Texas. Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. we will be hosting a brunch. Then the moment we've been waiting for all year from 5 p.m. sharp, April 4th, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. Followed by the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Sunday, April 5th from 7 p.m. The Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread goes hand in hand, so don't miss it. Make your reservations, book your flights and hotels now. An entire week of activities for only $200. Go to ISUPK.com, pay your Passover fee now. Shalom.
Back roll.
Sharper than the I.S.U.P.K on you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see, most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes, there's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences, 23 and 1 out. Praying that commissary hit before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury, I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. There's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain. It's a shame, that's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that God flow, this that shit that rappers die for. It's that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. And can the streets need another anthem? I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart grip my bow tie. Waiting on the score in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart grip my bow tie. Living in the score in my whole life. My whole life.
On a cool damn night, gave myself in that misty light, was hypnotized by strange delight under a lilac tree.
Spitting Hebrew, 3 and 1, combination, yeah. Well, how you want to talk something like us after this? I.S.U.P.K and the Commanders, Priest inspiration, rock like out my house shine. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe and taste. I finally got the recipe, passed down the ages and sitting under the family tree. Put my heart and all my soul, stretched enough to feed. Go wild, go old, and nigga, I'm a priest. First I was lost, needed more songs. Tell my over the truth all along is the songs and wrongs. Just feed the dogs, bread, bait, off the plate. I'm Jake, wishing to eat, fishing the got meat in the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. Seen it there for me. Lord knows it's what's left of me. Something was missing. I found myself in the kitchen. Water whipping up a piece of chicken just to feed my ambition. Or is it me trying to fill my greed? When it always had to have some green. Burning what I made up every day. Waste to eat and regurgitate. I had to taste for something different, wishing I knew it is. It had me on a mission, ducking state in prison, watching opposition on an expedition straight to prison. For instance, full of capers often, 50 bands stashed in my apartment. Need the spark, but they get to talking like Nintendo popping in the extra cartridge. Women hawking, best promoters. When she told her framework Golex, still void, it couldn't fill that hole. Sex, money, weed, over and over. But hold up, wait, what's that aroma? Frozen, I'm thawing and I'm getting warmer. Closer and closer, I came to the home of the truth. I'm smelling the soul through my golden. Order of blue house, I hop got my garment. Look how my frenzies is falling. I've been anointed with oil, I'm putting this working. Cutting, blazing, breaking down and observing. All the catering in Israel. The season all in the shoulder. With plenty wine in the oil, you find it's more finer than the gold. And I found the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe and taste. I finally got the recipe. Passed down the ages and sitting under the family tree. Put my heart and all my soul, stretched enough to feed. Go wild, go old, and nigga, I'm a priest. First I was lost, needed more songs. Tell my over the truth all along is the songs and wrongs. Just feed the dogs, bread, bait, off the plate. I'm Jake, wishing to eat, fishing the got meat in the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. Seen it there for me. Lord knows it's what's left of me. First, let me tell you right. You see, this can't get a slice. There's some ingredients to suffice. Should be nice, even if the spice ain't precise. Like your whole life is a sacrifice. Two or more in the name of Christ, like a knife you had to cut corners just to afford to fill all your short orders. It makes a lot of zeal as you go. One the kind is rechargeable. It was hard to pull crumbs and bread, but you kept holding to the crux cold and make it post. Ain't no other wood. You can never have too much brotherhood. We was mad eggs that would go bananas, not trying to be in the bandanas. Got you gon' need at least the faith of a mustard seed. When you're smelling the pot up, the pressure gon' brew. Just know you ain't bit off more than you can chew with it. Only one Lord, faith and baptism. A lot of knowledge and wisdom will keep you cool as a cucumber. If you find yourself in a pickle, get your bread and last of all, while they all bring it all to a bowl. Not half-baked, cause lukewarm and get spit right back in the bowl. Cold, and after you forge it, go find a man that the Lord said for you and yours. And just remember that this ain't for it. You know about the recipe. I mean, why? For my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. I mean, why? For my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. I mean, why? I mean, why? I mean, why? The recipe. I mean, why? For my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. Wine from the line of tree. Put my heart in its recipe.
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel. I'm Priest and Officer Arawanya with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge right here in Washington, D.C. It's a hell of a time going on right now. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but a lot of our people, they letting their kids run wild in the schools. I mean, just running wild. It's like they taking the place of adult protesters now. So it's getting crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? Especially out there in LA, in the Midwest, up in Minnesota, of course, Portland, even here, you know, right across the line in the state of Maryland. It's happening everywhere now, you know. If y'all want to look at those, you know, videos, watch how these people some of them with their kids being on the front line of protesters, and they getting arrested and they assaulting cops, which is, you know, it only take one crazy, you know, demented adult to just snap on your children that you keep sending to school while they know these protests who are the teachers are influencing to do. The kids, in some videos, the kids are even sitting up in the classrooms making the anti-ICE signs. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? But we are One West, I.S.U.P.K, under command of General Yahanna, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started in 1969. We're going to make this known. We are not affiliated with any Christian organization, no Muslim Islamic organization, no Black Panther of any sort type of organization, and no fake Israelite organization. We want to make that clear, because whatever happens with those disorganized groups, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? We stand alone. We are trained and we are professionals, and we do not take on the characteristics and the heathenry tactics and ways that some of our people who are involved with these groups, which they do. So we don't do things like that. This is tonight's history class. I'm sitting here with Priest and Officer of 1,000, Barak, and Priest and Officer of 1,000, Bakwashia. That's who I got. This is the team right here. And this is Monday Night History class, and we're going to touch in on, you know, what Hollywood, they like to hide. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. If you don't, you know what I'm saying, tune in. We're gonna go over some things tonight. As far as our let's take it to the West. You know, a lot of our people, you know. Oh yeah, before I even get started, y'all say what's up to my man Wild Turkey. You know, it's my man Wild Turkey right here. You know, he got his fringes on and everything, the crown of feathers. So, you know, he's a Gadite. We're going to take it to the West, where a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying, we don't know this, but Hollywood portrays the Cowboys as being, you know what I'm saying, white men. And they not. The original Cowboys of the American West, so like, were black, you know what I'm saying, were natives. Some of them was even Mexican, you know what I'm saying. The Mexicans, they have a Spanish term for it, is vaquero. That's how they say it, vaquero. You know, even the word cowboy is derogative. You know what I'm saying? It's a derogatory term because the white men that were doing the same thing, which they probably wasn't doing much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, the white man, he does nothing and claim all. You know what I'm saying? He was called cow hands. So they take care, their term, how they take care of the cattle, like I say, if they really was, because I don't, you know, that's another story, but whatever they was doing to the cows, you know what I'm saying, and the cattle, they had the privilege to be termed cow hands while we were called cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And you already know throughout history, you know what I'm saying, you calling a black man boy. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You demeaning him. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's a grown man standing in front of you. We see certain movies where white people are calling us boy, you better get this, boy, you better get that, you know, due to slavery, of course. You know, try to little boy us, you know what I'm saying? Try to always have the one up on us, which in actuality, because of our captivity, they did, but they wasn't able to do the things that we did. That's why they consistently and constantly need our help today, you know. And another thing, you know, by us being the original cowboys, you know what I'm saying, per se, we can't have nothing to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Right. Black and Hispanic, Native Indian men, we could never have nothing to ourselves. Never. Right. The devil, who is the white man, he always have to take it, claim it, and then, you know what I'm saying, market it. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? He really can't do nothing else. Right. You know? And we can get a little bit of stories, you know what I'm saying? We can get into some information on these black cowboys, these native cowboys. If we could, sir, we can start at number 1. You can read that.
Right. The cowboy western known for bulldog was Bill Pickett from 1870 to 1932.
Now, Salakia, no, bulldogging. When you hear that term bulldogging, that means this brother right here, Pickett, it's like when you on the horse, you know what I'm saying, and you jump down on the cattle and you get the horns and you wrestle the joint. You know what I'm saying? You wrestle the cow and you turn the neck to get it to go down. You know what I'm saying? The whole animal is on the ground. And that turned into, you know what I'm saying, also, you know, where, you know, people used to ride the cat, you know, the horses and the bulls, turned into the rodeo. You know what I'm saying? This is the origin of the rodeo, basically. You know, so this brother right here, he was the, you know what I'm saying, the founder of that. Salaki.
From 1870 to 1932, the legendary cowboy who was a trailblazing African-American cowboy and rodeo star who invented bulldogging, steer wrestling. He developed a signature technique of leaping from his horse, grabbing cattle by the horns, and biting their lip to subdue them. Pickett
Wow, see.
Pickett starred in 101 Ranch Wild West shows and was the first black cowboy inducted into the National Rodeo Hall of Fame.
They have a National Rodeo Hall of Fame. That's good that he got inducted in there because, you know, other than that, we probably would never even hear of his name unless it was, you know what I'm saying, you know, a black historian out there that actually cared about, you know what I'm saying, the brother, you know, at least they didn't erase this name. But the thing is, during Black History Month, why they only teach that? You know what I'm saying? They only teach you about the people that went through the civil rights movement, you know, even all the inventions that we created over here. You barely hear about that. They might make mention of it sometimes, but very little. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got us. That's why you got the UPK to inform you on a lot of things. Even if you can't, you know, if you can't understand what we're saying, then you can always play these videos back and you can go do, you know what I'm saying, your own research. Because it's not like we sit up here and lie for our health. No, not at all. We tell the truth and nothing but the truth, because this is the home of the truth right here.
That's right.
All right. We can also guide you in ways like your teacher in your school system is not going to do. By all means, learn and get everything that you can from Esau's, you know what I'm saying, educational system. But also this school right here, this is an established school. We also teach the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we teach history class just like
right.
we doing tonight. Salakia.
Number 2.
Yes, sir. Oh, no sweat. So we got video on the brother Bill Pickett. For those who seeing this now, at these times, a lot of sound wasn't available. So that might be why it's silent. You turn, okay, Salakia. But you do have certain movies back in the 1800s. There were silent movies. Now, see, not only is this risky, but you know, like the brother had strength. Cut him, come. And
If I could,
yes, sir.
this is what also Shamgar did.
That's right.
2 Passovers ago.
Right,
That's right.
right. I heard about that.
Went head to head with a bull.
So for the little ones out there that's watching, you know what I'm saying? You can see right here. This is just starting off right here. Like our brothers back then were dealing with the cattle. You know what I'm saying? Like we always have been dealing with cattle. Why the white man called himself, you know what I'm saying, dealing with cow hands, you know, like he's the professional, like he goes through, you know, it's just like they depict in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? They depict themselves as the real cowboys, which they're not, you know what I'm saying? They have no ties to dealing with cattle other than learning from us and seeing what we did. You know what I'm saying? Even the term vaquero, or in English, you know, we probably would say vaquero, you know, VAQUERO. You know, that term, it's a Spanish term. And when you look it up, that comes from, you know what I'm saying, the invaders that came over here, you know what I'm saying, that basically took over Mexico, you know, before the United States, of course, did their thing as well. And it goes back, when you search far enough, it goes back to the Iberian Peninsula, you know what I'm saying, which is basically like over there by the bottom of Spain, which our people were at. And there were Jews over there. You know what I'm saying? There were Jews over there. Of course, we was there too. And they had their reign, and their reign stopped in 1492. It's funny how they keep saying that, but they like to claim that the Spanish men over there taught the brothers over there how to deal with horses. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. That is a lie. You know what I'm saying? When we were dealing with horses over here, it wasn't because we learned from the white man. You know what I'm saying? We already knew how to do that. We've been doing that, you know? So if we can get a little bit more, what's that? 1A, sir? You can read down a little bit more.
Yep. 1A. A bulldogger, also known as a steer wrestler, is a rodeo contestant who competes in one of the fastest and most physically demanding events, where they leap from a moving horse to grab a 400, 600-pound steer by the horns and wrestle it to the ground. The goal is to bring the animal down in under 10 seconds.
That's a hell of a leap onto a That's a hell of a leap onto a bull and then wrestle it down, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got horns sticking up. You know, you could be gouged at any time in the neck, anywhere in your body. You can just get deeply pierced, severe wounds. You know what I'm saying? In internally in your system.
Right.
And for brothers to be that brave, it just shows, you know what I'm saying, like no fear. You know what I'm saying? No cowards, no fear, just like we are in here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't know about the white man doing that. You know what I'm saying? He probably do it now, but you see where he gets at with it. You know, he's always getting gouged in the neck. You see how they do the running of the bulls over there in Spain, where they purposely, you know what I'm saying, just disrespect, you know what I'm saying, the bulls. They want to run, they want to, you know, till they get into the arena, then they stabbing it, and they wondering why they got hurt, you know, wearing red, you know, or with the red flag, playing with the bull, enticing the bull to come hit them. You know what I'm saying? This is how the devil do. We didn't do things like that. You know what I'm saying? We still respect it. Even if we made a sport that's dealing with animals, we still respected the animal.
Right.
We didn't disrespect the animal. It's crazy, man.
Right.
Still out here, sir.
Key aspects of a bulldogger. The action. The bulldog arrives alongside the steer, drops from the horse, grabs the steer's horns, and uses technique and leverage to twist the animal's neck until it falls. The team. They're often assisted by a hazer, a second horseback rider who keeps the steer running in a straight line. Origins. The term originates from Bill Pickett, a black cowboy in the late 1800s, who developed this method of controlling cattle initially by biting the steer's lip to bring it down.
Wow. So he was biting the lips of the cattle. That's, you know, for them to even twist, you know what I'm saying, a bull's head, you know, you had to be strong. You had to have some strong hands.
Right.
You know, those brothers should have been termed cow hands because they were hands-on with the cow, you know what I'm saying, itself. You know, not the white man. No, not Mr., you know, Lone Ranger, you know what I'm saying, the fake Lone Ranger in the movies, in the old Western movies.
Right.
He wasn't the original.
Right.
Not at all. You know, and we're going to get into that later on, but, you know, we can drop this, sir. We can go to number 2. We can get this, dealing with this word, vaquero, you know what I'm saying?
Vaquero is the name for a Mexican cowboy, and the likely term that evolved into Anglo word for cowboy, buckaroo.
Buckaroo. I know we heard that term before.
Right.
A lot of us have heard that term. We didn't never know what it meant, but it's just, you know, you're gonna hear, you know, if you can drop down and to number 4.
The traditional cowboy look arose from Mexican vaqueros, and the word buckaroo came about as a mispronunciation of the word vaquero.
Just like the white man, you know, anything he hear that come out of our mouth, he got to flip it, turn it upside down, spin it, and then spit on it. You know what I'm saying? And then say what I'm gonna say about it. This is my word now. That's basically what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Damn the white man. We don't listen to him. We listen to Commander General Yahanna, and we train. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But if you ever heard the term buckaroo, this is where it comes from. It comes from mispronunciation of out of devil's mouths that want to disrespect certain terms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we've not, like Spanish is not an indigenous language out of our Central American brothers' mouths, you know what I'm saying? Pause. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like they say vaquero, they got it from the Spaniards, so now they speaking it. But then a white man come along, with his brother come along, and now he wants to say buckaroo. How do you get buckaroo out of vaquero? You know what I'm saying? Terrible situation, man. It's just like how they have manipulated the world into thinking that they speak real Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? That's not Hebrew that the white man speaks. So when you see those Ashkenazis and those what's the other sectors of the Jewish people with the Hasidic Jew, the Hasidic Jewish, you know, I refuse to call them Jews.
Right.
The Hasidic Jewish people, they clearly say that they speak Yiddish. They'll tell you, and they tell you if you ask them, well, where your peoples come from? And they tell you Germany, Poland, you know. They like literally say it and don't But while they claiming our identity, of course, they're the biggest imposters on the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like the image of the false Christ, Caesar Borgia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They will always try to defend, you know what I'm saying, what they're lying about, of course, because he is the biggest deceiver on the planet, the devil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So if we can get into number 5, sir.
Yep.
Baba Shah.
The original Cowboys in America, emerging in the 1500s through the 1800s, were primarily indigenous Mexican vaqueros, and in the 19th century American West, a significant portion were black men. Estimates suggest 1 in 4 cowboys were black, finding more independence in the cattle industry after the Civil War, despite rampant border discrimination. Rampant border discrimination.
You can drop down to Black Cowboy history.
Black Cowboy history. Following the Civil War, formerly enslaved men who had learned cattle ranching techniques in the South headed west for work. Significant numbers estimates of black cowboys in the late 19th century west ranged from 20% to 25%, with some evidence suggesting even higher numbers that were hidden in the census to avoid taxes.
Right. So a lot of our brothers back then in the mid to late 1800s, they were, you know, a lot of them. Well, I'm gonna say early. Some of them were early 1800s, and probably earlier than that, because the Cowboys been around for a long time. It ain't just what Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, depicts in their films. You know what I'm saying? They've been around for a long time. You don't just develop those techniques yesterday. Right. You know what I'm saying? We've been dealing with the cattle for over 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? Even when we go back to where we was at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if I could, sir, if I can get that scripture just briefly, you know, to touch on, to prove, you know, we had it, you know, it's 1 Kings 4:26, sir.
Yep. The book of 1 Kings chapter 4 and verse 26.
Yes, sir.
And Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots and 12,000 horsemen.
Solomon had 40,000, you know what I'm saying, stalls of horses for his chariots. That's his army right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 40,000 horses. Now, don't be mistaken when we talk about the cattle, you know what I'm saying, and the horses. They both coincide with each other because we had that. Right. We were herdsmen. You know what I'm saying? We dealt with cattle. We dealt with horses. We dealt with anything that had to do with the animals on the land. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we are known as the lost sheep. You know what I'm saying? The 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Because what's going on right now in America and what's been going on for over 400, 500, 600 years since, you know what I'm saying, the devil, you know what I'm saying, showed his face blatantly like that, you know, it's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the same time, we need a leader, and we have one right now until Christ returns, and that's Commanding General Yahanna. We can give a hand. Always like to give Commanding General Yahanna a hand, because without Commanding General Yahanna, none of this would be possible. Because he held the truth down since the 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to get into further than that. You know what I'm saying? He held the truth down since the 80s.
That's right.
And we are here now. You know what I'm saying? They always said, I remember before I even came in the truth, when I was looking at the videos, you know what I'm saying, Commander Junior Yahanna used to always say, it's going to be a new breed of Hebrews coming up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I can literally see it. You know what I'm
man.
saying? Hey, thank the Most High, because I'm a part of it too. And before I go on, I definitely want to, you know what I'm saying, remember our brother, you know what I'm saying, Officer Karab, that just passed away down in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, when this is for my Hebrew Academy graduates, you know what I'm saying, me and him literally went through the fire together. We was in the same unit when we went through the fire. You know what I'm saying? So if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Inspire you to try to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. Brotherhood is off the chain when you go through it. but me and that brother went through the fire together. So
Right.
may he rise again.
They're one West. They're one West.
That's right. Salaki, sir. If we can just go to number 6. Number 6. Well, I don't want us getting that. You blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians out there, you know what I'm saying? Remember these days, man. Remember the old, remember what's now, the current, you know what I'm saying? And pay attention and learn what's to come, you know what I'm saying? Because these scriptures are prophesied, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of prophecy in this Bible that a lot of our people like to shy away from, you know? It's not real, or why hasn't it happened yet? Nah, it's going to happen. And there's no prophecy in these scriptures that already have happened. It was already spoken about. It was already spoken of, and it came to pass. And all of it's not finished yet. You know what I'm saying? Just like we going into the Third World War, which is a good thing for us. That means that it's getting closer and closer to our salvation. You know what I'm saying? You got this, sir?
Yeah. Nat Love, the legendary cowboy of the American West. The American West is filled with tales of legendary cowboys, outlaws, and indigenous warriors, but few figures capture the true essence of the frontier spirit, quite like Nat Love. Known as Deadwood Dick.
Yeah, I know the name throws off, but hey, that's it. That was the name, you know. They say that, you know what I'm saying, the word D, you know, is a nickname for Richard. How did you get that out of the R? I don't know. You know, but you know, Deadwood, yeah.
Nat Love looms large as a legend in cowboy lore, but he was indeed a real person whose adventurous life took him from slavery to the open range,
right,
where he became one of the most skilled and respected cowboys of his time. His autobiography, The Life and Adventures of Nat Love, 1907, provides a first-hand account of the dangers, excitement, and opportunities the West provided, particularly for freed slaves seeking freedom and prosperity after the Civil War.
So this is, we can focus on the picture of Nat Love, the brother Deadwood. I'm not saying the other half, but Deadwood, Nat Love. There he is, right there.
Would appreciate it if you told me that.
That's your brother. That's your brother right there. That's an original cowboy right there, or cowhand. I'm gonna take Esau's term on what he like to call himself, and then he slapped us with the cowboy, but we were the one that was doing all the work, you know. Yasin Bey. For those who don't know who Yasin Bey is, that's Mos Def. If you know who you know what I'm saying, the rapper Mos Def is. Yeah, he do look like him. He kind of like he could be related to James Brown as well.
But when I was looking up the pictures to make a flyer, I think there was that was one of the main pictures I saw.
This is a very famous photo right here. For those who do know, you know, and he was a gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Let me not forget that. Like, these cowboys, I know we talking about cattle, and not at all do we condone, you know what I'm saying, the certain lifestyles of these, you know what I'm saying, the black and native cowboys. But at the same time, we're going to bring out that the white man have lied and is currently still lying, even though he let some of it, you know what I'm saying, pass through. But he lied about who the cowboys were, man. When you watch those old Westerners, you know what I'm saying, the ones who did dress up as Native Americans when they were fighting Native Americans, those were not even Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Those were white men as well.
Now, I just want to make a point that when you was bringing out this, the topic is so for the class, as far as this the black and native, you know, cowboys, you know, within this captivity, one of the things that's, you know, really to be highlighted when we start to go into our history a little bit more, from finding out that we had our own banks, finding out that we had our own airport, finding out that we ran cattle and we had farms. Like, without the I.S.U.P.K bringing out this truth and making it, you know, public for our brothers and sisters and our children to see, we wouldn't know that it's so much further past, you know, picking cotton and picking sugar cane and, you know, working on plantations and just being the worker man in the essence of, you know, having a boss. At one point in time, all of the things that we are trying to take back now, learning how to, you know, farm and do agriculture and, you know, how to breed animals and how to, you know, work with livestock and stuff of that nature. Like we had our roots, you know, really attached, you know, back to that thing. It kind of just brings back what do they want to call it? A piece of our brain that's been shut down.
Right.
It kind of, you know,
Right.
brings that part of us back to life that, you know, we, you know, had, you know, cities that we ran. We had, you know, legislation. We had things where, you know, we had more of a foot, you know, within our oppressors, within our captivity. We still had a foot, you know, of Black success, Black and Native success. Right. You know what I mean? The same thing with the Native American Indians. You don't let us bring it out, you'll just think that they was the savages.
Right.
You won't even see how we had things set up when these colonizers came over here, you know, and started taking over their land and making treaties and deeds. You'll mess around and not even know that we was, you know, full blown had a whole operation going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? A whole family structure, a whole family business. You know, we talking about generational wealth. We had that very much so rocking and rolling, you know, back in this time frame. Right. Let alone with just the livestock and being the original Cowboys.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but you'll mess around and not even know the truth of this history just by following after the white man and his educational system.
And
Salaki.
Basically what Adawan is saying is we had government over here. You know what I'm saying? Before the white man got here.
Right.
And we were a nation within a nation in captivity. You know what I'm saying? We were a nation within a nation as we were in captivity underneath the white man's foot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a dirty foot to be up under.
I'm telling you.
You know, like Epstein and all them, man. It's disgusting.
Nasty work.
Salaki, sir. If we can go down to number 7.
Right.
Baba Shah.
Buck Gang, the encyclopedia of Oklahoma history and culture. Click on that link.
Okay,
hold on. Buck Gang, B-U-C-K, Buck Gang. In July and August 1895, the Buck Gang terrorized citizens of the Creek Nation, Indian Territory. Gang members Rufus Buck, Lucky Davis, Sam Sampson, Naomi July, and Lewis Davis joined forces after working individually as horse thieves and whiskey peddlers. All members were of American Indian or African American descent.
There you go, right there. You know what I'm saying? These are cowboys right here. They eventually turned into criminals. You know what I'm saying? As reports got it. But at the same time, when Hollywood depict, you know what I'm saying, people like this, they would depict them as their own, you know what I'm saying, as just pale Edomites. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Buck Gang with niggas and savages. That's who it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
North American Indian men and American black men, Judites. You know what I'm saying? From the tribe of Judah. That's who the Buck Gang consisted of.
Right.
We have Gad and Judah have always been yeah.
Right.
Just like when they say we walking on the bones of the Native Americans.
Right.
You best believe right beside it is Judite. You know what I'm saying? Because they intermarried with each other so much. You know what I'm saying? That, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of Judites running around here, and I can't even say that because there's a lot of brothers and sisters running around here thinking that they Judites, but they not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They Gad, and then it's vice versa. It just happens that way. Nonetheless, you a tribe, you one of the 12 tribes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't even matter. You still one of the, you know what I'm saying, one of the Most High's favorites. I'm gonna just say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to come into this school. You know what I'm saying? Get these proper teachings.
That's right.
Like you're supposed to. But the Buck gang, yeah, they went around Creek Nation. Creek Nation, for those who don't know, that was one of the, you know what I'm saying, the so-called civilized tribes that the white man termed. You know what I'm saying? As once he got his hands in the mix, he called them civilized as if they were uncivilized. You know what I'm saying? Like he got over here. It's funny how a real savage, an unclean savage as well, he can come over here and look at people living their life and be like, okay, because the accounts is they came over here. These are very peaceable people. You know what I'm saying? And then you just and for that you kill them, you unalive them, right. And then took a lot of them back to Europe. You know what I'm saying? Some of them died on the way back. But you took them to Europe and said, this is good business. You know what I'm saying? The ones that did make it. Right. But then you over here and you renaming tribes. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we didn't even speak English. You know what I'm saying? You got people on the internet today running around saying that we invented English. You know what I'm saying? We were speaking English here in the United States, with the United Snakes of America. You know what I'm saying? Right. Before the white man got here. You know what I'm saying? That is a lie, man. We was not speaking English before the white man got here. Right. If that was so, then why he bring a Hebrew interpreter? You know what I'm saying? A man that can actually speak Hebrew to connect and, you know what I'm saying, understand what the brothers and sisters are saying over here. Right. Because he was a brother himself. It wasn't just one of those people. No, it was a brother. We know, remember, we coming out of Spain, 1492, when Christopher Columbus made his way. Yeah, we fell over there. You know what I'm saying? When they rose back to power. But at the same time, you still had us over there. We're still over there, right to this day. Right. Our people are still there. You know what I'm saying? But the bulk of Israel is here in the Americas, North, Central, South, and the Caribbean islands. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they depict people like being in the Buck gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm just touching on that briefly because it's just too long of a history to go through. But the Buck gang were, you know what I'm saying, they were a group of brothers who got tired, you know what I'm saying, of the white man. A lot of these brothers were born into slavery. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the natives, they were born into captivity and they were sent off into the boarding schools. If you know about the native boarding schools, it was just all hell in there. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were sexually violated. They had their hair was, you know what I'm saying, cut off. Right. They took see my man Wild Turkey right here. See what he got on? All this was absent. You basically just strip him down, pause that, take all of his royal garments off, you know what I'm saying, his fringes, and just put a suit on him. Cut all his hair off and put a suit on him. Have him looking like, you know what I'm saying, with the D and B coming from his neck. You know what I'm saying? You know what that is, you know, D and B. I'm not going to say that because it would be inappropriate, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically, you know, a tie represents a phallus. You know what I'm saying? A tie represents that. That's exactly what it is.
Hold on, wait, what?
The collar and then the tie, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, hanging down. That represents the man genitalia, you know?
I never knew that.
Yeah. I mean, some brothers got to wear it, you know, it's because of their slave, you know? Well, I said when you put the tie to it, that's when it becomes offensive. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, hey, we in captivity. You know, so we have to do a lot of things, but you don't have to go to the Leviticus route as well. You know.
Speaking of Leviticus,
yes, sir.
Professional Salazar wanted to give a shout out.
Who was that?
The last one.
What's his name? Oh, Professional Salazar. Okay. Yeah. I bet you do shout. Yeah. You know what? We already know. We're not gonna go into more of that, but you know, y'all shout a lot. Y'all shout a lot in that room that y'all congregate in. Mm-hmm. You know, that slithery room that y'all congregate in. I know it's slimy in there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got work to do because professional, liquidator right here, is off the chain, man. But if we could, sir. Unlike the purple pigs, we are actually into the business of teaching our people.
That's right.
Not scheming and scamming, Slovakia, not Somalian scheming and scamming our people. You know what I'm saying? We don't go to Africa and be like, well, who can we perform in front of? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
No, we don't do things like that.
Right.
He said you're scared of them.
Yeah, no sweat.
He said he likes the bishop. What's wrong with that?
Wait, what?
He likes the bishop. What's wrong with that?
He likes the bishop?
Yeah.
I mean, that's his leader,
Bishop.
That's his leader. His leader is Nasty Nate.
All right.
If we could, sir, if we can go to number 8, please. Because see, what we're bringing out tonight, we're bringing out the true history. It's a brief history because we don't have all the time in the world, but you can definitely do this research. You know what I'm saying? We bringing out the original Cowboys, man, which is a derogatory term. Remember that. Commit that to memory. The word cowboy is a derogatory term because it only referred to blacks and Hispanic and Native Indian, brothers who dealt with the cows hands-on. The white man said he's cow hands, but we just had to be cowboys, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't even doing no work. Of course he wasn't. We taught him how to do that. The white man has never did nothing over here without our assistance. You know what I'm saying? It's only us. So like it, sir. You got that?
Number 8.
Yes, sir.
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves.
The real Lone Ranger was black. Like many things during slavery, history may have been obscured, and the actual Lone Ranger seems to have been inspired by an African-American man named Bass Reeves.
Yes, sir.
Reeves had been born a slave, but escaped west during the Civil War, where he had lived in what was then known as Indian Territory. He eventually became a deputy U.S. Marshal, was a master of disguise, an expert marksman, had a Native American companion.
Salakia. So he was an expert marksman and had a Native American companion. Just like in Hollywood, how they depict the Lone Ranger. Boom. You know what I'm saying? We do that to the fake depiction of the Lone Ranger. You know what I'm saying? The Lone Ranger, the white version, was just straight trash, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I forgot the heathen name, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he wasn't the real Lone Ranger. We have the accounts right here, you know what I'm saying, of the real Lone Ranger.
Right.
Bass Reeves. You know what I'm saying? That's an old name too.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old Judite name right there.
Bass
Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just back in the 18. Man, I wish we just had a time machine and just go back and see some of these brothers.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The 1800s. They was just smoking, gun blazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is the brother right here. How do you get this devil from this brother right here? How do you do that? Because you're a liar. That's what you are. You are a straight up liar.
He put his mustache on his eyes.
He put his mustache on his eyes. Wow. This brother right here. I mean, look at him. If you could blow it up, sir, please. Just let them get a good look at Bass Reeves. That's the real Lone Ranger right there. So like I said, if you can read on.
Sure. And rode a silver horse. Historians say there was a short period of time where he rode a white horse as well. His story was not unique, however. In the 19th century, the Wild West drew enslaved blacks with the hope of freedom and wages. When the Civil War ended, freedmen came west with the hope of a better life, where the demand for skilled labor was high.
So Salakia, so this is a reoccurring thing right here where a lot of our brothers, you know what I'm saying, mainly a lot of them was born east of the Mississippi River, okay? And they was escaping slavery because they got fed up of the captivity and the harsh conditions. You know, like you gotta take in mind, like think about these brothers just running away. They leaving their families, you know what I'm saying? They leaving families just to go to the West, you know what I'm saying? And learn a new trade, a new skill. They dealing with first of all, before I even say that, like here, we didn't even have to go west of the Mississippi River. And take in mind, east of the Mississippi River, for a lot of the Gadites out here, we were known as the Eastern Woodland Indians. Anything that was east of the Mississippi River, you were known, you know what I'm saying, geographically in a totality, the Eastern Woodland, you know what I'm saying, natives, because there's more greenery, you know what I'm saying? It's more greenery east of the Mississippi River.
Right.
And you come up the East Coast, going to the South, you know what I'm saying? Sliding all the way over to Louisiana from, I'll say, hell, Massachusetts, New York, all the way down to Louisiana, all the states on the East Coast, 13 colonies, which used to be, you know what I'm saying, 13 colonies. Our people were dealing with cows and horses, you know what I'm saying? I know my great-grandfather, you know, we still got land in VA. He had a farm, you know what I'm saying, which my pops grew up on. Right. They always had cattle. They always had horses, you know what I'm saying, and all the other animals as well, and the foods. We you know, I used to say to my pops, like, pops, you know, if we were segregated, you know what I'm saying, how didn't we buy amongst each other? Because there's a lot of our older people from, you know what I'm saying, the older generation, they'd tell us, if you mention things like this, basically separation is what I'm speaking on. Like, how were we buying from the white man or doing anything with him when we were segregated? We only dealt amongst each other. You know, they was like, wait, where are you getting this information from? What do you mean, where am I getting this from? You the one that lived through it. Why are you asking me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You lived back then in the 50s and the 60s before y'all integrated completely, you know? So we were still amongst each other. So our people have been dealing with cattle, you know what I'm saying? We just read earlier what Solomon had, you know what I'm saying? Wow. I mean, we can get another scripture right quick. Oh, yeah. What is that?
Fiery furnace finish.
Fiery furnace, man. You always in the chat, man. You always in the chat.
Shalom, sir. Can I get a breakdown of Luke 16, 19 through 25?
Save your questions right now with that. If you can save that, please save that for either tomorrow's class or Wednesday. All right. We want to, you know what I'm saying, just deal with this topic right here. We're going to stick on it because this is a history class. Okay. So Salakia for that, brother. But keep that and save that for either tomorrow or Wednesday. All right. Where Captain Mashak will be teaching. And Officer Kazak Ahmad tomorrow will be teaching, Lord willing. All right. But if you do have a question, you know what I'm saying, on these black cowboys, you know what I'm saying, native cowboys, definitely drop it in the chat. And we can get to it as, you know, as it see fit. So like I said, we can keep reading on.
Sure. These African Americans made up at least a quarter of the legendary Cowboys. In fact, it is believed that the term cowboy originated as a derogatory term used to describe black cowhands. Reeves became famous among criminals for his skills and relentless pursuit. Although shot at many times, he remained untouched by a single bullet. And because of this, he was called the indomitable marshal. So tough, he could spit on a brick and bust it. That's
right. That's what I can do. Me and Wild Turkey right here. Me and Wild Turkey, right? Spitting on bricks and breaking them. That's right. That's how tough he was, man. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, you know, that's just, you know, because the brother, he was solid back then. So we come up from a long line of warriors, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is not new. You see the warriors in the UPK today. This ain't nothing new, man. We've been warriors. We've been doing this for thousands of years. And we got the history to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Right. We got the history in the Apocrypha where it talks about, you know what I'm saying, the Lacedaemonians, you know what I'm saying? Right. They were straight up warriors, you know, out there in Sparta, you know. Even when y'all look on the side note, when you look on that shield on the movie 300 and you see that L, which is a L, it's a lambda, it's the Greek letter, but that was a people, you know what I'm saying? And those people were all Jews. And it talks about it in the first Maccabees, you know what I'm saying? Like we gonna bring that history out too very soon, you know what I'm saying? Of the Lacedaemonians, man, straight up warriors. You know what I'm saying? It might even scare some of y'all because you're looking at those naked, you know what I'm saying, Spartans, you know what I'm saying, in 300. I think they all died too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them did. I know they had a part 2 to it with, you know, it wasn't as good as the first one, but hey, that was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? I love this, you know what I'm saying? I love to see that type of warfare. You know what I'm saying? Especially to see my enemies just go down, you know.
Right.
But once again, with this information we bringing out tonight, as far as, you know what I'm saying, these black cowboys and what they eventually started doing as far as criminal acts, we do not condone any of that because that is what gets you put under the jail and sometimes unalived. So do not go out there, you know what I'm saying, and commit crimes. I know how hard it is for brothers out here. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a warrior, but at the same time, don't pick up a gun or any weapon. Go out here, you know what I'm saying, and rob somebody. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? For the little ones that's watching, for the children out here, do not hit your classmates, your family members, and do not commit crimes. We don't condone that. That's not what you should be doing. You should come into the school of the I.S.U.P.K and learn how to, you know what I'm saying, wave those things off and go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Or by all means, defend yourself, but do not start fights. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it, sir.
A newspaper of his times reported, place a warrant for arrest in his hands and no circumstance can cause him to deviate. The Oklahoma City Weekly Times Journal reported, Reeves was never known to show the slightest excitement under any circumstance. He does not know what fear is.
That's right. So, and neither do we. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what fear is. We fear nothing but the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna those people back then, those brothers back then, they wasn't scared, man. Like they did what they had to do. Sometimes it involved, you know what I'm saying, sinning, you know what I'm saying, which we should not do, you know. And but it's just showing you that these cowboys back then, they were just as brave as the men in the UPK are today. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those brothers back then, they are back here in the earth. You know what I'm saying? They are here. They are here right now with us, you know, and they have no fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the brother out in the UK, Shamgard, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, no fear right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And most people, you know, when they see him, you know, you're not going to want to go up against him anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that is what that is, you know.
I pray you understand.
It's like, exactly. I pray you understand. We could keep going, sir.
Another newspaper reported Reeves had brought in 3,000 living felons and 20 dead. He corrected the record, saying that during his storied career, he had killed or unalived 14 men in self-defense. Another newspaper reported Reeves had brought in 3,000 living felons and 20 dead. Excuse me.
20 dead. Yeah.
Saying that during his sturdy career, he had killed 14 men in self-defense.
Now, imagine this brother right here, you know what I'm saying? The Lone Ranger, the original Lone Ranger, you know, his skill in to go out and to just capture people. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if he was to use that for his people. You know what I'm saying? We go out here and we capturing heathens that's committing crimes against our people. You know what I'm saying? If we had our own system. But see, don't even worry about that, because as long as we putting in this work, which we have to do the work before Christ get back here, you know what I'm saying? we're gonna have our kingdom. We're gonna the kingdom is never gonna go away. It's gonna be here on earth. You know what I'm saying? It's not that like the kingdom of heaven is not a place after death. I pray you understand.
Right.
It's not some place after death. It says it right there in the prayer. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's Prayer. So when we have, because the reason why I'm saying this is because we're going to become hunters of men. You know what I'm saying? Salaki, if I can get that scripture right quick, sir.
What's it?
The hunters of men. That's a side note right there.
You want the one where it says hunters of men?
Callum Khan, sir. Where we become hunters of men. Yep.
Jeremiah 16:16.
Callum Khan, sir. Because see, the thing before I don't want to get the scripture, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because the Lone Ranger right here, the original Lone Ranger, he went out, it gave the numbers of how many people that he was catching, you know what I'm saying? And of course, he had to defend himself. They said he had 20 bodies underneath his belt. He said he had 14, and it was all due to self-defense. Of course, the devil is going to lie, you know what I'm saying? That had to happen. I pray you understand that had to happen with Bass Reeves. You know what I'm saying? The Lone Ranger. You already know the story about the Lone Ranger. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. The Lone Ranger was good at it. Make no mistake, when you hear these cattle being talked about and these horses, it does not exclude, you know what I'm saying, weaponry. Let me say that. Okay. These brothers, yeah, they were strapped. You know what I'm saying? And they did defend themselves. Okay? You got the scripture?
Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, save the Lord.
Now, fishers are what we are doing today. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said we have to fish. You know what I'm saying? Meaning we have to go out here and we have to teach our brothers and sisters the truth about the scriptures, the truth about their nationality, the truth about what they're supposed to eat and what not to eat, who to have sex with, not to have sex with. You know what I'm saying? Cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? We have laws, statutes, and commandments that we are supposed to follow. You know, what's that term where we're just strictly about the scriptures? You know what I'm saying? I think it's solar something. So no, not that. It's a term where it's just we go off the scriptures alone. We don't do what Catholics do. You know what I'm saying? We don't do what, you know, any religious group do. Everything that we do, we solely believe in the scriptures alone. You know what I'm saying? All the truth that we need is right in the scriptures. We don't need nothing else. And of course, yes, we are, you know what I'm saying? We are scholars as well. We have information that backs up and verify our ancient records. Yes, we do that. You know what I'm saying? For you nutsos and idiots out there that like to say that, well, y'all don't even speak, you know what I'm saying, the ancient language and things like that. Yes, we do. You just don't know. You know, you must don't know that every Friday we have a Lashawan Quadash class.
Right.
Every Sabbath service we speak the Lashawan Quadash,
Right.
the holy tongue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's our tongue. That's our language. It doesn't belong to anybody else. The white man don't speak it. And I need not even go further than that because damn sure nobody else speaks it on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Only us, only the 12 tribes of Israel speak the Lashawan Quadash. You know, just to get off topic, I know I seen an article a long time ago where, as a matter of fact, I think Captain Katazar had brung it out in his 12 tribe breakdown, where it was a brother somewhere in the South, I think, where he was blind. And they had it in a newspaper report that he spoke, they literally got it written. He spoke the Lashawan Quadash. I think Captain Katazar didn't bring it out. If he didn't, then I'm bringing it out now. You know what I'm saying? It was a brother. I'll find that in due time, but it was a brother. He spoke the Lashawan Quadash. and he was blind. And this was a long time ago. And they literally put that in the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? So they know who we are. They also know that we don't know who we are. You know, that's why they spend billions of dollars to hide our true identity, and they are impostoring our identity, if that's even a word.
Right.
You know, impostoring. Salaki, sir.
Young man Lewis says, sola scriptura.
That's exactly what it is. Thank you, brother. Young man Lewis. Thank you. If you're a brother, young man Lewis, what's your nationality? That's Issachar. No sweat. My man Issachar. The water, brother. The water. What is it again?
Sola scriptura.
Sola scriptura. Yep. Meaning we deal with the scriptures alone. It's only Bible based. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
That's right.
So like I said, if you can get more on that scripture, sir.
Absolutely. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them.
That's right. So fishers, hey, let them drop. Drop them. Drop them. Because that's exactly what's going to happen when we become hunters. Now, I didn't say that, but you heard it. We're going to become, for right now, we are fishers. What is fishing? Fishing is to, you put the rod out there, you got your fishing rod, okay? The fishing rod. And you wheeling it in. You got the bait, you get in your fish. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing with our people right now by teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments. We're trying to fish them into the truth. Okay, it's a metaphor. All right, when you can't literally, for the Christians out there, you can't literally, because you Christians, y'all think that snakes talk. You know what I'm saying? So I have to break it down like this in order for you to get it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't just reel your people in physically. No, you teaching them. And then after we become fishermen, then it's going to come a point in time where we're going to stop fishing and we're going to become hunters of men, meaning we're going to go out there and capture all of the people, all of the heathen nations that have disrespected us and held us in captivity and unalived us at alarming rates. You know what I'm saying? Bodily harm, sexually harmed, you know what I'm saying? Mentally harmed, because a lot of our people are on a lot of medication out here due to the fact that they were, you know what I'm saying, disrespected and, sexually.
If I could, there was I was riding around DC with the week just talking about, a lot of our people are, mentally affected from everything that Esau has put us through, right?
Right.
I'm riding around down Rhode Island Avenue, right? And we go in a good speed, but then all of a sudden this traffic just stops.
Right.
But the light is green. I'm like, what the hell's going on? By the time I get up there, I see a brother. This is I believe it was either Valentine's Day or the next day.
Right.
Right.
That was a Sunday.
Yeah. And this brother was just standing not in the middle, but in the middle of the road, right where the lines cross.
Right.
Not in the crosswalk, but like a little bit back.
Yeah, the divider.
Just standing there. And it wasn't like a homeless brother or anything. This brother was well dressed, young, groomed. He looked like he was about something, but he was just standing in the middle of the street, just like
he was out of there.
Yeah, his mind was gone,
right.
And I wonder why his mind was gone on February 15th.
Right, February 15th.
Yeah,
right after
what could have happened.
Right after the he probably had a crazy, you know what I'm saying, February 14th. You know what I'm saying? If his 15th was messed up, that 14th must have did him a lot of harm.
Still real.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gets dressed? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just say the brother was well groomed and everything, just to go into the middle of the street as high as you can be. I guess that's the place to be now. You know what I'm saying? We used to make jokes about, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't like somebody, you tell them to go play in traffic, but it's becoming a reality. Well, no, it is a reality now. Now you take these high doses of when you never try to self-medicate yourself, you know what I'm saying? Always go to a doctor / physician. Like the scriptures say, honor thy physician, man. Don't sit there and try to self-medicate yourself. You blowing it down, you know what I'm saying? For your peeps, you're sharing saliva with other males, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you suck on cigarettes and blunts, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't do that, but you do. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're trying to get you to stop doing that. But you know, it is what it is, man. But we're going to become hunters, meaning we're going to take our enemies and we're going to go get them wherever they at on the planet. Because why? Because the Lord instructed us to do that. And trust me, it's a lot of brothers in here, or maybe all brothers in here. We can't wait till that day, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? That is the big day of payback right there. Right now, you ain't supposed to put your hands on no heathen. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, do not abhor an Edomite, do not abhor an Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch them, man. Don't touch them. Don't worry about them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that. The Lord gonna deal with them. It's nothing that we can do to make them, you know what I'm saying, pay for what they did more than what the Lord is going to do to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we're fishers now, but best believe we're going to be hunters. And you heathens out there, you're not going to like that day. Trust me. You're not going to like that day. Can we get just briefly number 10, sir?
Let's see what we got. Right, Cherokee Bill.
Cherokee Bill
on the Outlaw Trail. Site bulletin. Probably the most famous outlaw that was hanged on the Fort Smith gallows was Crawford Goldsby. Alice Cherokee Bill. He was born on February 8th, 1876 at Fort Concho, Texas, the son of George Goldsby, a Buffalo soldier of Mexican, white, and Sioux descent, and a woman named Ellen Beck, half black, 1/4 Cherokee and 1/4 white. When George Goldsby abandoned his pregnant wife and son 2 years later, Ellen returned to Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, and sent Crawford to Indian schools.
Salaki, sir. You can stop right there.
Okay.
Salaki, can you go to the collage of pictures was that? Can we go up to that number 2, the second one right there? Yeah. Yep. So in other reports, they say his father, you know what I'm saying, was straight up a brother. You know what I'm saying? Some of them say white, all this. Just like that's his mother right there. If we can blow it up, sir. That's his mother right there. So his mother, you know what I'm saying, she's a Gadite as well. You know what I'm saying? And they lie a lot about, you know, our brothers and sisters. They like to lie a lot about who they were just so they can become that $5 pretendian, you know what I'm saying, and own the casinos. No real Gadite brother owns a casino, man. And if he does, his name is just, you know, he don't own that for real. Trust me, because why are they on the resis? You know what I'm saying? I mean, completely destroyed. The resis are the worst place to live at on this land. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't know that, you know it now. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere in captivity, we are the worst place to live, man. Let me just say that. You know, there's no one greater than the other. Whether you down there in the favelas down in Brazil, whether you in the barrios, the ghettos, you know what I'm saying, or the resis, hey, still in hell, man. But we coming up out of here. We definitely gonna come up out of here. And that's Buffalo Bill right there, man. Buffalo Bill, he will be today somebody that will be so wild. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had his reasons though. Buffalo Bill was sent to those boarding schools, those Native American boarding schools where he was abused. That's why he had to get up out of there. He got up out of there, you know what I'm saying, fighting. Salaki, sir. Oh, Salaki. Salaki. I had to Salaki. Cherokee Bill. Salaki. Cherokee Bill. He was a wild one, though. He was a real gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Now, we don't condone his lifestyle, but because oppression, you know what I'm saying? And they have accounts where they were saying the reason why he ran with a band of brothers, you know what I'm saying, that was just they were strong, man. They were strong, like brothers say today, you know what I'm saying. They doing it out here in these streets. They was out in the streets back then in the old Western times, but they started off because they were being oppressed, you know what I'm saying, and not like the Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying. These people were actually fighting to get out. They fought to get out of slavery. Actually, they escaped slavery, escaped the boarding school because they were being abused, you know what I'm saying, and oppressed. And they learned the skill because not only were they doing what they were doing, which is sinful, they were also picking up trades and skills, though. They were learning how to deal with the cattle because these are the original cowboys that you're looking at right here. But he was a wild one. Cherokee Bill was a wild one, man. He was just... He was laying people down, you know what I'm saying, with the slightest offense. And on the side note, you know what I'm saying, that movie, The Harder They Fall, whoever heard of that, Jay-Z produced that movie, right? The Harder They Fall. Those characters in there, of course, they got a hammy on there too. Idris Elba, that's his name, right? He was in that movie, but it scratched him off. But the character that he played, you know, a lot of those characters in that movie were real characters. You know what I'm saying? Right quick, if we can just hit number 11. Salaga, sir. But that movie right there depicted real people that was out there in the West. These people was no joke, man. They actually existed. These were black cowboys, native cowboys. Salaga, sir. You got number 11?
11.
You got to press on it. Just get
Say that one more time.
You just gotta click.
Yeah. Now the link loader.
2
seconds.
Now this person right here that I don't want to get ready to speak of, she was also depicted in the movie The Harder They Fall, produced by sellout Jay-Z.
Stagecoach Mary
Fields.
Standing 6 foot tall and powerful.
Can we get the old pictures of her, sir? That's the depiction of her in the movie. We're gonna get the original picture of her.
Standing 6 foot tall and powerful. Many bandits learned to stay clear of Stagecoach Murray in the American Old West. Stagecoach Mary Fields carried a gun, smoked, drank, and had a wicked temper. Mary was the first African-American woman to carry mail on a star route for the United States Post Office Department.
Okay, right quick. The star route was dealing with it was a complicated route. You know what I'm saying? It was a route that all postal, you know what I'm saying, workers did not do. So she went on that route. You know, a lot of it was equipped. A lot of it was dealing with a dangerous mail route. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that the mail was going to, those people were, you know, basically targeted. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't scared. Now, we don't condone our women to go out and do nothing that Stagecoach Mary did. You know what I'm saying? She took it upon herself to do what she did, but we don't condone for our sisters to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like we don't tell our sisters purposely to become police officers and go into Esau's military. But if you're already there, you can get counsel on how to, you know what I'm saying, work yourself through that and eventually come up out of there.
Right.
Salaki, sir.
Mary Fields was born into slavery in either 1832 or 1833. Her exact birthday is unknown. Mary's birthplace and other details about her early childhood are also unknown. What is known is that she worked for the Warner family in West Virginia in the years leading up to the Civil War. Mary was emancipated in 1863 or shortly after the Civil War. She then moved from West Virginia and went up the Mississippi River, where she worked on steamboats. Mary ended up in Ohio, specifically Toledo. There, Mary began working at Jerusalem Convent of the Sacred Heart. There's a debate over how and why Mary ended up working at the convent. Yet, what is known is that Mary's gruff style was not something that fit into the serene calm that was the convent.
Okay. So like I said, you don't have to go on. So we basically, I just wanted to touch on her right quick just to show you, you know, some of those characters that was on the movie. They were real characters. The Harder They Fall. And you know, we came up on the time right now. So just to note, you know what I'm saying, for those who remember the Buffalo Soldiers as well, the Buffalo Soldiers were definitely they should have been considered cowboys as well. They were the original park rangers. You know what I'm saying? They took care of fires. They guarded, they protected. Some of them even went over to the Philippines to fight. They even used them as soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So the Buffalo Soldiers, they end up, because of Esau, they end up fighting against, you know what I'm saying, their Gadite brothers, because some of them were Gadites as well. But at the same time, the Buffalo Soldiers are the original park rangers. And if you know anything about Smokey the Bear, if you look at Smokey the Bear, who, for those who are old enough, you know Smokey the Bear, you know, always preventing forest fires. If you look at Smokey the Bear hat, the hat that he wears, that was truly and solely inspired by the Buffalo Soldiers, because those were the hats that they wore. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Smokey the Bear, Buffalo Soldier, entwined the two. The hat that Smokey the Bear got on is the hats that the Buffalo Soldiers wore. You know what I'm saying? Stylish, salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Even through war times, we still looking good and presentable. You know what I'm saying? This is us, man. This is Israel. Hey, look, you can't defeat us, man, because we got the Lord on our side. And for all the professional purple people, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do your thing, man. Do your own thing. You'd never be able to, you know what I'm saying, stop what we going on right here. This is a machine, you know what I'm saying, under command of General Yahanna. Look, I got Officer Pequasha with me. I got Officer Barak with me.
All right, yeah, I'm right.
Officer 500 Arawaya. This is Monday night history class, man. And I'm gonna say shalom. Pass the class over to Officer Barak.
All right, security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. The upcoming Holy Convocation, we got Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. That'll be Monday, March 2nd, and Tuesday, March 3rd of this year. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Of course, you want to stay on the lookout with the camp leader over your zone as to how that function is going to be kept. If you want to donate, all of those things, if you want to contribute, you just want to get in contact with your camp leader over your zone on the I.S.U.P.K website, right? Of course, we got the Passover that's coming up April 4th of 2026 going down in Houston, Texas. Going down Houston, Texas from the week from April 1st, that entire week, April 1st through like the 7th. We got all events going on that week. Of course, from the age group of 17 and above, the price is $200 per person from the age 17 and above. You know, it's going to cover you to get in all of the UPK events that we got going on. You want to go ahead and get your reservation together for the hotels. The Passover address has been put out there, right? So you want to go and get your transportation in order. Don't let your funds be a reason that you feel like you can't make it. Transportation be a reason for you feel like you can't make it. Link up with your brothers and sisters, car up, bus up, whatever the case may be, them trains, all of that. If you just need a little bit of guidance to get in contact with your camp leader, you know, we're going to make sure that you get squared away and have a comfortable ride getting up to this year's Passover, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. Once again, Houston, Texas, April 4th. You understand? And also the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which follows right after the Passover the following day. All right. As well, Commander Yahanna is going to be going live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out his channel, The Real General Yahanna, on the YouTube.
the real Jenny Yahanna. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Anything you want to add on that, or was it?
Be strong, Israel. Be strong, man. Fight your demons. Show up at that Passover. You are instructed to. SHALAM.
Remind Akib and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirt, black pants, black cape, and a scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Madim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Shabbat, Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Barakatah.
Yazim Matah. The class is